Hello Memphian and Memlis, thank you for having me. My name is John Matthew from grade 11, Social 3 number 17. And today I will give a speech about the effect of poverty in Indonesia. So to begin, the definition of poverty is a state of inability to meet the basic needs such as shelter, food, clothing, education, and health. Poverty can be caused by the scarcity of the basic necessities or the difficulty of accessing education and also employment. Poverty is a global problem, and some people understand this term subjectively and comparatively, while others see it from a moral and evaluate point of view, and still the others understand it from the established scientific point of view, and so on. The causes of poverty is mostly associated with individual or pathological, which view poverty as the result of the behavior, choices, or the abilities of the poor. An example is the use of finance doesn't measure the income, so the poor people spend more money than they make. Also, we have family causes, linking poverty with family education. The cost of the family can be also in the form of the number of the family members are not proportional for the family's financial income. Example is the father can fund 3 people but decided to have 5 child, so the income isn't proportional with their expenses. Then we have subcultural causes. These links with everyday life are learned or practiced in the surroundings environment. Individuals or family who are easily tempted by neighboring circumstances. Example, my neighbor buy a new motorcycle and I also want a new motorcycle, but I cannot afford it. So I pay and I got in debt. Then we can see the poverty results from the other actions, including war, government, and the economy. Another example is the salary or honorarium that is controlled by another person but not ours. Another example from the past is slavery. Then we move on to structural causes, which provide the reason that poverty is the result of the social strata. What is the impact of poverty in Indonesia? The first impact, it can make the unemployment rate increasing. Why? Because unemployment is closely related to low education and very difficult for the poor people to get access to education, then making them lack of skills and provisions to get a decent normal job. And the impact that's quite important to know is the increase of crime rate in Indonesia. Poor people tend to do anything to meet their needs of life, no matter what, so they steal and they kill. Then the close access to education is the impact that can be felt. The cost of education in Indonesia are quite high for the poor, so the poor cannot reach it, the world of education. If they lack of education, they cannot compete and they cannot rise from adversity. Finally, the impact of poverty, it makes the death rate higher. Why? Because this related to factors of causing poverty, named poor mental quality. Many people living below the poverty line doesn't have access to decent healthcare. This can cause the higher mortality rate and malnutrition in the midst of the poor, also frightening factor because it directly related to the health. From the impact that I described, this can threaten the unity of Republic Indonesia within the framework of Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, because poor people can commit crimes to fulfill their needs. Low access to education and low quality of human resources, so that many foreign workers are employed in Indonesia and many local human resources are unemployed. And people potentially easy to be influenced by groups who want to divide and threaten the Indonesian state. Also, we have the strategy that can be taken from these threats, challenges, and disturbance so it doesn't occur in Indonesia again. We have poverty assistance to help directly to the poor, and in Indonesia we have BLT. Then we have startup and government can work together to create wide and many job opportunities for the residents. Assistance to individual circumstances, many kinds of policy and are implemented to change the situation of the poor in individual basis, including education, social work, job search, and the others. Then we have effort to improve the various resident or community facilities such as electricity, roads, public bus, and the preparation for the vulnerable. Instead of providing assistance directly to the poor, many welfare countries provide assistance to the people categorized as more likely to be poor, such as the elder or the disabled, or circumstances that make them poor, such as need for healthcare. Preparation for the week can be also in the form of providing training that so the person concerned can open the business independently later on. There are efforts to provide assistance or subsidies to the poor to fill their basic needs also. With these steps, it can hope that poverty is no longer a threat to Bhinneka Tunggal Ika and the poverty rate in Indonesia can be decreased over time. Thus, the speech about poverty that threatens the unity of Indonesia in the context of Bhinneka Tunggal Ika and how to overcome this threat. Sorry if there's a word error and I hope that it can be understood. Thank you Ma'am Fian and Ma'am Liz. Have a good day.